Nakwe, and welcome to this lesson on time series, which could very likely be part of your chance and data 1.12 external. Now, time series is a type of a line graph that plots data collected over intervals of time. And on a time series, if you've got time along this x-axis, it's very likely going to be a time series graph. Now, the way they work, let's look at this example. We've got the height of Jerry the giraffe for each of his 5 years of school. Here we see the year Tahirua Torofa Rima, and then the height in centimeters. Now, as we said, you got to have data that's collected over regular intervals. So once every year for 5 years, that would be time series data. So what year did Jerry reach 400 centimeters in height? There, we look at the height. There's the 400 centimeters, looking over to that time, down to the graph, 5 years. We can see from the graph, Jerry was 400 centimeters tall in year 5. As we're looking for higher levels of achievement, make sure you answer the question in context. If you just said year 5, yeah, it's right, but it's best to let the wording of the question be part of your answer. So if the question asks, what year did Jerry reach 400 centimeters? You would say Jerry reached 400 centimeters in height in year 5. How much did Jerry grow from year 3 to year 4? Using the question, we would say, looking at year 3 to year 4, 350 to 350, Jerry grew 0 centimeters from year 3 to year 4. Again, let the wording of the question be a structure that you're going to use for a well-worded response. Now looking at some Pa'atai time series graphs are a form of line graph, we said, that always show time on the x-axis and the other variable on the y-axis. Good idea to add that to your notes and read it once or twice so it sticks in. Okay, next one. These are going to be for you to try as part of your Mahi Kura. Missing values there, reading off the graph. Now, one of the things that you're going to want to talk about with time series is the trend. And this is something we've talked about in other topics. And the trend can be increasing, decreasing, or constant. There's no other choices. So when identifying the trends, we look at the overall direction of the line over time, ignoring any short-term increases or decreases. So basically, you're going to look at where we were at the very beginning, look where we were at the end, and even though it went down and up and down and up, etc., the overall trend is going to be decreasing. So to find the overall trend, we need to look at the overall direction of the line over time, ignoring anything in the middle. And looking at the above graph, the data begins at 70 kilometers, while most of the following data points get lesser in value until the final report of 30. We can conclude there is a general downward or decreasing trend over time. Drawing a straight line over the graph, ignoring any short-term peaks and troughs, further highlights this overall trend. A trend line is shown in red. And using the data analysis and trend line, we can conclude that for the 12-month period the data was collected, the dolphin pod is traveling, and that is a decreasing trend. Here, from the beginning of week 1, a delay of 2 minutes till the end, a little more than 6, even though it does go up, down. The overall trend is increasing over time, as shown in the red line there. Okay, that's going to get you to some questions on the trend. We'll be right back to talk about seasonal effects.